Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today we will be beginning something new with the start of Forged by Avernus. It is going to be a descent into Avernus module, as you could probably guess, and our party is going to be one that probably gets themselves into a lot of trouble because what D&D party never does. Let's go ahead and meet our characters. Dahlia, would you give us a character description and a brief overview of what people would know about your character?
So,
Oh, I
uh,
got that.
uh, yeah, the individual that I am playing goes by the name of Black Dahlia. She is, something of a, uh, recluse. You would see that she is in, Asimar, with very ghostly pale white skin and, almost pure white hair, as well as very piercing red eyes. And I would say most people they're very easy to pick her out of the crowd just on the basis that uh, on top of being a very strange looking Asimar, she also wears a lot of like full black, a lot of leather and cloaks, uh, and I would say that she's been uh, very reserved, but she's effectively trying to go around engaging with some of the most notorious crime scenes in regards to basically trying to make her name for herself as a adventurer.
Alrighty. Next up would be Faladar.
Faladar is well. Most people. He just tells everyone that he is a fae. No one knows exactly who he is. His skin is pure white, same as his hair. Though he is covered in strange black markings and tattoos. He's usually wearing leather armor and leather clothing around. He carries a lute to play music, and he occasionally plays cards on the side. The most interesting thing about him, though, would probably be the strange, what looks like horns growing from his head, which, upon closer look, they seem to be made of wood. He doesn't really talk about who he was or who he used to be. He just is known to go to different regions between the adventurers guilds and help out however he can, whether it be magic, music, or medicine.
So I'm assuming Bard.
Yes.
And what class was Dahlia?
Warlock.
Warlock, gotcha. Alrighty, that brings us to Razmir. Razmir?
Is a tall, imposing drow paladin with piercing silver eyes, dark skinned, marked with subtle, glowing glyphs that symbolize my devotion to my deity. The one thing that most people would probably know about him is he's a conflicted warrior, um, rejected by the evil traditions of the Dark Elven Society to basically embrace the path of righteousness.
Gotcha. So he's a bad boy gone good?
Yes.
Interesting. And did we get the physical description? I might have missed it.
Yeah, he's a tall, imposing drow with silver eyes.
Alrighty then. Next on the block is Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly is probably a pretty, I don't know, somewhat classic looking Fae type character. She's technically an Eladrin. She's pretty tall and somewhat slender, but more muscular, I would say. She's relatively common looks, green eyes. One thing that stands out is she has insanely long black hair, like almost to the floor, that she always wears down. Class-wise, she is an armor artificer, and her kind of background, she's a little bit more not fully reserved. She always kind of has the ability to be looking into things. Um, she is a house agent for a house, and so she's been spending plenty of time going around, kind of doing some investigations and some items and things for them. So she is relatively straightforward and simple, and that fact that she's been doing what she does for a while, and that is what she plans to continue to do. That's kind of set her into the adventuring thing. As they need things, she does what they need done.
Fair. Next up is going to be Vera, our last member of the party. Vera?
It would help if I turned on my mic.
Sure.
Vera is a heavily modified dragonborn. She is much more humanoid than she is dragonoid, and she has pitch black obsidian scales all throughout her body. Even though a vast majority of her appearance is mainly human, she has long red hair tied up into a tight ponytail. She wears white armor most of the time, and she is incredibly athletic and very single-minded. She's arrogant and brash and prone to flights of rage and is generally a problem child, which is why she was sent away to become an adventurer in hopes that she could calm her obsessions and evolve as a person.
Alrighty. This group of nutty adventurers has been set out because the Flaming Fist has been dealing with quite a lot in the last few days. Things have been getting particularly hairy within the city, as the city has, for the most part, gone on lockdown. However, most people aren't really sure why this has happened. Even among the adventurers, nobody has a clear idea of what's going on yet. There are rumors floating around, but as with rumor mongering, all seem as unlikely as the last. So nobody's made a clear idea of what's going on. However, the Adventuring Society has seemed to taken to, instead of sending out solo adventurers like they normally do, they have been pairing the groups that have not already made parties into groups for protection reasons, as far as anybody's able to tell. The lot of you have been banded together, and you have been informed that for your next quest, you are being sent to an inn within the city of Baldur's Gate, which is the city everybody is in for the most part. And you are going to be doing some kind of investigation for the Flaming Fist. What would the party like to do, and how would you introduce yourselves to each other now that y'all are meeting for the first time for most of you and getting ready to go on this job together?
What? Where are we exactly? Like meeting up for the first time?
On the Adventuring campus, Adventure Society campus. Whether or not
Right.
y'all are
Right.
still there, it's up to y'all.
Okay.
Y'all can do y'all's introductions on the way or in the waiting room in which y'all first gathered. The functionary that gave y'all y'all's job and is sending y'all off has just left.
Uh, I like to think that if we're starting off in the waiting room, I believe Faladar was described as also having pretty white hair.
Yes, though it's not really pretty white so much as it looks like all the color has been removed from it.
Bla- uh Dahlia would be if you would like turn to like just off the corner of your eye, you would just notice like just these two big like uh round red eyes just staring at your head, and she's like kind of invading your personal space.
Um, hello. Who are you?
Oh, oh, I am so sorry. It's just that your hair, it's well, I mean, it's so, and she'd be like twirling her own white hair, and she'd just sort of say, well, people may consider us, what do they call it? Twinsies? Yes.
Uh, I wouldn't go that far. I say as I nudge a little bit away from them, slightly creeped out.
Oh, right. Uh, yeah, introductions are a thing. I'm Dahlia.
Uh, greetings, Dahlia. I am Faladar. Um, are you an adventurer, perhaps?
Oh, yes, I've just been starting out, yes.
Uh, yeah, I wouldn't say veteran, but I've been traveling between the guilds for a few years now. This one seemed like a nice one until very recently, it seems. Something must be going on. Everything seems to have gone crazy.
Oh, I know. Things have been getting so excited, and well, you know what? I had my doubts before, but now that I know that my newest bestie is a seasoned adventurer, all those worries are dashed.
Huh. You are a very happy person.
Well, I I like to think that you could either, well, happiness and sadness are two sides of the same coin, aren't they? But uh, sometimes you have to laugh and smile your way out of things, don't you?
You have a sense of optimism that I assumed died in this world.
Oh, I'm very optimistic in particular areas, but anyway, um, oh boy, about that job, right? You were paying attention, weren't you?
Uh, more or less. I don't, more or less I pay attention, but I don't know. They all kind of just blend together after a little while.
Okay, good, because I was just sort of staring at a fly on the wall. I don't know, it was a particularly emerald looking fly, so uh uh looks like I will be relying on you, not just for your expertise, but also your ability to perceive, eh? Eh? New bestie?
I wouldn't go that far. So not about the friend part, but about me being good, able to perceive things. Because let's just say, yeah, I kind of suck at that.
Uh I imagine Dahlia would lean forward to look at to stare at the other adventurers in the waiting room, and then she would just like uh address like one of them at random and just sort of say like, "Oh, how about you? Do you have any good eyes that we could use?" Not implying that like I intend to pluck them out and use them, but just in general while they're in your skull.
I feel
Vera
like
would give.
as soon as Oh, I was gonna say, as soon as like Dahlia looked over, like Black Dahlia looked over, she would just see Tilly staring straight at her, not breaking eye contact, being like, yes, some of us are quite efficient at paying attention to things. As for what we're doing, I believe there's a large rumor mill going around, so we'll probably have to find out more before we can make too many rash decisions.
Quite. Well, luckily for you all, I am quite well versed in not jumping the gun and going straight to murdering things. That would be completely not nice to do. Um,
David just sort of
What an
raises an
interesting thing to
eyebrow and
say.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I say she raises an eyebrow. She's currently picking at her teeth with one of her gauntleted hands and sort of leaning back and like fully man spreading, lazing about, and just sort of, like I said, raising an eyebrow at Dahlia. It's like, don't look at me. I'm itching to get into something here. This lockdown is killing me.
Dahlia would you would see her eyes widen as she's almost like kind of like impressed by how cool you are, and then you would just see Black Dahlia just sort of stretch and kind of go like, uh yeah, same. I am just itching for some action, as she's like straight up trying to mimic your pose. Yeah, we're too cool for um well, I never actually went to school, but if I did, I would be too cool for it, huh?
Hmm. Yeah, sure, whatever. Stands up. All right. So, where do we go to find out what the hell we're doing for this job?
Y'all were informed that y'all would be going to an inn by the name of the Silver Harp Inn. You will be the second set of adventurers set out that way, as the rest of the group has already been deployed to give a look around the area. Y'all are going to be specifically starting the investigation side of things.
Oh my gosh, the silver, what'd you say, harp?
Yeah, Silver Harp.
Oh gosh, but that sounds so lovely. Maybe they have like musicians there or bards. Oh my gosh, I just love bards.
You'll also
You,
know that the contact y'all are supposed to be meeting is a Flaming Fist member by the name of Varys Drake.
Ooh.
As well, the head of the other group of adventurers you're going to meet up with is a man by the name of Lorien. Lorien Sunbright.
Okay, Lorian. The
You
guy.
were
Okay.
told you will know him by the sun coming out of his goddamn ass. The
Hmm.
adventurer, the worker that was informing you seems to not like Lorien all that much. Not because Lorien seems like a good guy. You know those people that get annoyed by the people that are overly happy with their lives? It's kind of the situation you got with Lorien.
I cannot relate.
what was?
But oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just got. What was the name of the flaming fist? I didn't
His
get it.
name
Sorry.
is Varys Drake.
Very strange.
He will be the Flaming Fist representative in this situation, and he is helping the other group to keep people from running off.
And it was a worker who looked like they displayed some
Distaste for Lorian, yes.
right. After the worker kind of like gives us a description at least about Lori, and Black Dahlia would say, "Oh, you really should have some pity for the man. It's not his fault that he has a son like shoved up his butt."
Yes. Yes, it is.
Hmm.
But
Let me see.
did y'all ask
What about,
any other information before the worker left?
I was gonna look at Razmir and be like, "What about you, tall, dark, spiky? What's your shtick?"
I'll take that as a no. Cool. Continue.
Um,
Some
but
action.
I did have.
Okay, we'll get back to that in a second. Razmir, go ahead.
I'm just looking to get into some action. This lockdown's horrible.
Short, sweet, to the point. All right, go ahead, Miss Tilly.
You were informed that the worker doesn't know all that much, just that the Flaming Fist has asked for adventuring assistance with some kind of investigation. You will get more information from Drake on arrival.
Hmm.
There are 4 other members that have already been set out. They should be in the area. You are looking for the head of that group, Lorian Sunbright, Astrid Ashaxe, Vera Thorn, and Seldrin Silvervale are the other 4 adventurers that are already on site.
Uh, ooh. Black Dahlia's gonna raise her hand.
Yes?
Did we ever discuss payment options?
The Flaming Fist has put 100 gold bounty on the successful completion of the quest.
She's gonna raise her hand again.
Yes? Because they're still looking at you?
Do you think I could have mine in well, I if it's not too much of an inconvenience, could I have mine in copper? That way I can like hear like, them jingle in the bag as I shake them.
That will be up to whoever ends up being the one to split the gold between your party.
Ah, well.
If you want, you could take it to the bank and get it exchanged.
Ooh. I could be something of a wolf of Baldur's Gate Bank or something.
Sure.
Tilly would just like slow blink about 3 times at that interaction and look at the person who gave us information and just say, very much appreciate your time. Thank you for the information. I'm going to start heading over to the Silver Harp Inn now. And she just start making her way out.
You don't have to hit me in the face with a weapon. Not. Let's head out.
Ooh,
Follow
wait for
Tilly.
me.
Oh, what not?
A
The,
what
the
not?
worker holds their head and holds their hands up. You know what? I don't want to know. And walks out of the room. Adventurers are fucking weird.
I am extremely normal.
You see them stop at the door about to say something, think better of it, and keep walking. But what does the party do?
Say I
I'm
will follow
under the
Tilly.
assumption Yeah, I'm under the assumption that we were told where the Silver Harp Inn
Yes.
is. And so Tilly's just making her way to there. The rest of the adventuring party sounds like is already there, and more information's they have to go there to get it. So
Black Dahlia will be humming obnoxiously loud as we're walking.
How's Faladar? Faladar, there it is. Faladar, Raz, and Vera doing with what's going on right now?
So Vera was going to be following Tilly as she was going out.
Faladar gives a small sigh. His luck seems to have turned again, as seems to have turned again. Not from the news, but just a general feeling as he goes and follows the others.
Rasmere will be in tow, a little bit away from some of the party members.
Alrighty. Do y'all want to make a plan as y'all are coming in, or y'all figuring out who's gonna do the talking? What's y'all's plan for this, or just walk in and wing it?
Uh,
Hmm.
if I can ask, who is best to speaking in engagements with others?
I can. What is it? I can have it so that he looks at us a little bit more favorably, but well, he may or may not be a little angry afterwards. But other than that, I can do a little bit of talking.
I'm going to assume you mean the
I,
friend spell, and yes, let's avoid using that on people if at all necessary.
Oh,
What's that?
It's a spell that's used to it's a spell that you use on people in order to make them a bit more pliable for conversations and bring them more to your side. Unfortunately, they know that you use the spell on them after, and it uh, leads to them usually declaring you as the enemy for the rest of your natural life.
yeah, just like this. And
um,
whoever was the one who asked it, was it Vera?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing friends with you.
Can I stop? Can I stop them before they do this? I think there's a thematic component.
No, unfortunately, there's not a reaction to stopping people from casting.
Damn.
If you had known they were gonna do it, yes, they just went off the handle and went. Ah! And you're just like, oh
Okay.
shit.
What save do I have to make?
It's not a save.
Oh.
They just have advantage against you for
Ah,
charisma spells, as you can feel. Um, right now you can't feel it, but your attention is kind of drawn to them.
oh
Um,
yeah.
in about a minute, you're gonna know exactly what they did, but it's not hard to parse together what they just did because they told you they were gonna do it.
Oh, by the by, do these heels match my skirt? And then she'll telepathically say to you, "Say yes, say yes, say yes."
Oh yeah. I mean, they're absolutely magnificent. What are they made out of?
Oh, I don't know, some sort of like animal body part, like most leather is.
You
But the
know,
important part is that apparently they look good on me.
the friend spell, it does not give you telepathy or anything. It just gives you advantage
Oh,
on
I
persuasion.
do have telepathy though.
Oh, okay, that's how you did it.
Yeah,
Okay, just wanted to make
yeah.
sure. So you also hear a voice in your fucking head.
Oh, that could make for some. She can't hear the inside of my thoughts, though, can
It's
she?
not mind reading. I think
No. Okay.
with telepathy, you usually can cast that once a day.
Telepathic.
I think you can cast detect thoughts once a day.
I can cast detect thoughts, yeah.
Yep.
Without, yeah, but I didn't. But I can speak telepathically in a one-way connection.
Yep.
Okay. This is so weird. I've never really felt this way, really, about a lot of people. You seem all right.
Oh, well, I should hope so. Like, God's forbid I'm all left.
But the rest of the party realized it just through friends on there, especially because they said like this and then
Oh
did
no,
it,
it's
right?
very obvious
With
that they
the,
just cast us. Well, let me
I
look.
thought,
I need to remember. They made a gesture that if you were watching, you could recognize as casting a spell. Um, well,
She did
if
the
you ever look in the wrong way, you would have missed it because it doesn't have a verbal.
she did the TikTok heart as the somatic component.
what, yeah. And I was just wondering because she'd said beforehand, oh, it's like this or whatever. And then
Oh
that's
yeah,
why I was wondering if
Oh
everyone would
yeah.
notice it or not.
oh yeah, you absolutely would have. It's not subtle.
Tilly would probably just turn and walk very closely to Black Dahlia and say, hi. I feel like we haven't properly really introduced ourselves. My name's Tilly, and if you ever try and cast that on me afterwards, as soon as it wears off, I will do everything in my power to end you. I just want you to know that. Okay? It's not how we act with one another. That's a horrible thing to do. And then Tilly's just going to walk forward and say, I think someone who's not a complete psychopath should be doing the talking when we're going to speak. With the flaming fist, being that they're pretty straightforward and direct. They don't need to be charmed or bribed into things. We're literally here to do their bidding. Should not be difficult.
Oh, I
Uh,
like being friends.
I could speak with them if necessary. I'm not the best. I don't usually associate with people that much, but I can talk my way out of most things.
I don't think we're going in here trying to convince them of anything or sell them on anything. I believe we're just going here to ask what they need us to do. We've been sent out as adventurers to help them. I don't think that we have too many silly things to do right now besides learning what more they need from us. I believe it should be straightforward. Whoever wants to
Eh,
speak with them is fine. I just don't think we need to do a lot of anything with it. It should just be a conversation as long as we're able to have a normal conversation in which we don't cast things on people we're working with and then just another mean, straight glare. Right, Italia. Not friendly.
I see what you mean, but I'll make sure nothing happens.
Is there anything the party would, anything else the party would like to do before arriving at the Harp Inn?
I'll drop concentration on friends.
Oh, and it was Vera you cast it on, right? I think.
E.
Vera, you have the overwhelming urge to punch this little mess right in the nose.
She's not going to punch her in those, however, she is going to seethe. And she's just going to very quietly let it simmer down. And she's going to very gently grip her on the shoulder and says, you know, ever do that again? Hell is just a place. This reality will be a hell of a lot worse.
Eh, I already
And she
kind of
lets
know it.
go. Are we all good now, friend?
Uh, oh gosh, it was just a little bit of fun, but say, how about this? And do we start off with? Yeah, we should have started off with GP, right?
Yeah, everybody has gold. You roll your starting
Yeah.
gold, and then you should have some from your background.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay, for some reason it didn't carry over. But whatever gold that she does have, she's gonna hold off, like hold up like some gold pieces and say, how about I make it a bit even and uh when we get to that little inn, well, drinks are on me.
I am not some tavern wench that can be bought. Keep your gold, and I'll keep my word. And she walks away.
Eesh.
Alrighty. It takes y'all a little while to get all the way over there, but you'll do see a quaint little inn just up ahead, and hanging from the front is the image of a harp laid with silver.
Well, I mean, if they're going for obvious advertising, I suppose this would be. Well,
Ignore that.
say stride up to the door and give it a push open.
It swings open nice and easily as you are met with a not the best inn, but a rather quaint one. Off to the right, there's a large stone hearth with a fire crackling merrily in it. All the tables are a little mismatched compared to the chairs. They all look of decent quality, and you see a number of individuals milling about. Along the walls, there's a number of faded tapestry, as well as some old instruments that are hanging from the walls, including a harp that has been mounted above the hearth. Let me move y'all to the map. Do-do-do-do.
Ooh.
I can. Oh, I know why. Hang on. I forgot to do a thing. Please hold. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a technical issue. But the party walks into this tavern. There are two women standing behind the bar. One about middle age. The other one early 20s. There's a couple people milling about the middle of the room. One of them looks probably to be some kind of worker. The others just to be normal travelers. Off to the left, when y'all walk in leaning against the wall, you'll see the Flaming Fist member, as there is a large fist emblem across the front of his tabard. I think it's a tabard. As well, in the right hand side of the building, there are another set of women. One, an elvish looking woman sitting on the edge of a stage, strumming a lute. And the other, off to the bottom corner, is a noble woman, it looks like, based on her garb. Oh, you must be the adventurers the society sent out. Eh?
And you must be Mr. Fist.
Yes, that would be us.
Drake. Well, I'm glad you've made it. The other groups have been moving around. We need to get this investigation off the ground before things get. Well, things take too long.
Understood. Yes, we were told to get the finer details of the plan from you. I say as I sit in front. I say as I sit on the other side.
Where are you sitting?
I mean, across from him. I phrased that wrong.
He's just standing across. Yeah, he's just leaning against a wall. He's not sitting anywhere.
They doing air
Oh,
chairs?
Oh no, sorry. From the way it would look, I thought he was sitting at a table.
Nah, he's just leaning against the wall.
Okay.
Uh, should we get some seats? We have been kind of walking for a bit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
something
sit down.
tells me we're gonna be getting out pretty soon here too, so let's get it over with. So, what kind of trouble are we looking at?
Murder.
Ooh.
Any
Body's
leads?
upstairs, far right, far top right. He points up to the he points up in that direction. In the corner of the building. Nobody's really been in there to look around, as that's going to be your job. To my knowledge, this is everyone that was here throughout the night, save for the stable boy who is caring for the horses. Your friend is keeping an eye on him.
Okay, so the stable boy was the only witness, and
Wouldn't say that.
he's here at least.
Everyone here is potentially a witness. But questioning's going to be your job.
Alright, I think we should see the crime scene first, and then we'll see what questions come up.
He gestures to the stairs, which are off on the right side of the room. Upstairs, off in the corner. Yeah.
I'm not much use for the investigating bits. I can try and see if I can't get some information out of the people around here.
As you see, the first staircase is coming. I can never remember which one's which. I need to write it down. One on the right goes down, the one on the left goes up.
These ones go up right here.
Yes.
Okay. So he's just gonna head upstairs.
So Tilly, Dahlia, Razmir look like they're all heading upstairs. Vera and Thaladar, where are y'all going? Are y'all remaining downstairs?
Yeah, I was gonna have Vera pull up to the bar, sort of pull up a bar seat, and order a quick beer from the bartenders.
Alrighty, you see the woman behind the bar. The younger woman seems very nervous, and the older woman puts a hand on her shoulder and tells her to go grab a new bottle of ale, or not a bottle, a new barrel, and get it moved out here. So this woman dips out through the door to go find it, and she gives you a small smile. It's a little strained, but were you looking for mead or ale?
Let's go with mead. Something a bit nicer, something a bit sweet.
It'll be 1 silver piece for a mug.
Okay, I got 150 gold. That'll take me down to 149. Instead of just doing a silver piece, she'll actually scoot one full gold over. Seem like you're having a bit of a rough day. Have a bit of a tip.
Well, somebody was murdered within my home, so yes, I suppose it has been a rather bad day. But it was Faladar going along with Vera, or going along with the rest of the party?
Faladar is gonna remain down here, mainly just so he could maybe talk with the barmaiden, and also trying to sort of keep an eye on the people downstairs.
Gotcha. Then we will get back to the two of y'all here in a moment. We are going to go upstairs to join the three that have gone up the stairs. Do, do, do.
Ooh.
Y'all have moved up to find yourself in a nice hallway. Number of doors on either side.
You said the room to the right upstairs, yes?
Top right corner.
Are we looking at like that, meaning up right here?
Yeah, up over
When you
there.
said top right corner? Okay. So Tilly's just gonna work her way over there because not one to sneak in rooms.
I love the mood lighting.
What fun. Is this a statue I'm guessing right here?
Yes, it is. It looks like a elven bard of some kind holding a harp and a lantern.
Is it bald?
Yes, he is.
To open and walk into the room that they'd was mentioned. And I guess before Dahlia fully goes in, say, let's not touch all of the things, see what we can figure out without doing that.
As you walk into the room, first thing that immediately hits you is the scent, a metallic scent on the air that kind of gets into your mouth that you immediately know to be blood. You walk in, and it's a moderately furnished room, pretty simple. Bed off in the corner, tiny desk, or a small table with two chairs on either side, a wardrobe, and some bookshelves. You see the sheets and whatnot are rumpled, and the window stands slightly ajar, maybe 2 inches, and you can feel cold air rushing in through there. You can smell rain and sweat hiding under that tang of the blood. And of course, laying on the ground is a man that seems to be in relatively nice attire. A half elf, probably middle aged, blonde hair. He is face down
Also above
next to one of the
table,
chairs.
I say above table, everyone's can totally walk in. I wasn't meaning like don't come in. She was just saying like not ruffle through everything quite yet. Was all
Hmm.
sorry. That make you feel like I meant don't come
No,
inside.
that's fine.
Apologies. Um,
Hmm. Uh,
is
uh,
there
uh,
do we see anything that just kind of stands out off the bat besides the few things you've mentioned at all? Or
That's what stands out.
the body.
okay.
There's a dead dude. Mm-hmm.
The body and the
Yeah. Uh, I want to try to see if I can like find a uh the method of like murder. Like what exactly did this guy in?
Are you going to start moving the body, or are you just trying to look around?
I want to say like I want to do like a cursory glance over it to see if I can see like any blunt force trauma or like stab marks like on the back.
Roll me a medicine check.
Medicine. Dope.
You see there's a lot of blood on the ground, so it's probably wherever that's coming from.
Hmm. Not the not exactly one for decor. These this what do they call it? Perp is hmm.
I think
Uh
Kelly's kind of initially more interested in what's on that table where you said there were sheets and things like that, like the parchment or whatever is on the table back there.
You see on the table itself, the only thing that's currently on it is what looks like a glass of dark purple wine. It seems to shimmer in the candlelight.
We look into that wine a little bit more.
Sure. What are you looking for?
This purple shimmering wine something. Um, I don't know, maybe to try and see if it's possible to kind of identify what it is. I mean, shimmering purple wine seems a little off. So maybe kind of like a cursory smell and like a look over to see if there's a way to figure out if this is just like your standard drink or if there's something more to it.
Roll me a advantage history check. Why did this door?
Sure, because I'm sure I'm great at that. Nope,
Oh
I gave you two
no.
nat ones, so that sounds like my rolls. Perfect.
With the tang of the blood and with the whatnot, nothing really comes to mind. It just seems to be. It's not the standard wines that you've seen. You can tell it's probably some kind of special wine. As you can see swirls moving around in the wine itself, but nothing comes to you right off the bat. It just feels like a strange
Um,
brand, something that would stand out, probably expensive.
Tilly would just ask, is anyone like a wine connoisseur? This look strange to me? Does anyone know wine like this? I'm not much of a wine person.
Hmm. Uh, I could maybe try to attempt to place it. I was never big on wine. Well, what kind of check would that be to like check its wine ability? I don't know.
It's wine ability.
I
It
like that
would
wine
It's
be a
ability.
vintage, I
history check.
guess. History. Okay. Very bad on that. Oh well.
It's
That means it's a
wine.
liquid.
It's purple wine specifically.
Hmm.
You think you got it. Purple wine from the perculary.
It's that it's that purple stuff.
Oh, okay, purple stuff. Um, well, maybe we can. I guess unless Vesemir knows anything about wine, I guess we could maybe set this aside and try and look at the body a bit closer, and we could always bring the wine perhaps downstairs with us and ask the barkeep if they carry this here. That might be our better option. We can set this here for now and bring it with us when we go back downstairs. Might be our best bet.
Hmm. Well, I mean, if we're not opposed to touching stuff anymore, while you guys were looking at the stiff right there, maybe I can find a clue, in his, personal stuff. I promise I will not pocket anything.
Assuming if it's a clue, you'd probably share it. So yeah, let's try and see what we can figure out because uh, doesn't seem like we're able to. I'm not able to tell how he died just by looking at him. So I think we might have to maybe move the body a bit. Might be the assumption.
Yep. Sounds good. And while they're doing that, I'll be rummaging through the drawers and chests to see if I can find anything of note.
Alrighty. What are Tilly and Resmir doing while Dahlia is casing the joint like a proper thief?
I'm gonna help Tilly look at the body, see if we can determine what caused the death, stab wounds, uh, just so we can see if it's you know, what caused a lethal blow to this poor sap.
And Tilly's surprisingly not looking, well, maybe not surprisingly for exactly what killed them. She's more interested if there's any like out of place stuff on them, like whether it's the attire they're wearing or if there's anything like in their pockets or if they have any weird markings or something that might set that off. Because the theory is in her mind, as they move around, they're probably going to see whether it's a stab wound or blunt force or, you know what I mean, a burn or something like that. She's more curious if there's anything on them that is just not expected or maybe out of place or something that stands out, kind of what she's looking at it from that angle.
Alrighty, and Rasmir's looking for what killed him specifically?
Yeah, cause
Okay.
of death.
So I need an investigation check from Tilly and a medicine check from Rasmir. And are y'all touching him at all or just doing glances?
Lily's kind of starting with a glance over. She's somewhat hesitant to touch them at first herself. 'Cause she's kind of cautionary about those things.
And for Rasmir?
I'll probably just do it once over, and then if I don't see anything, I'll probably just kind of tip the body a little bit.
Even without rolling, I can tell you, looking at the back, while his clothes do look coated in blood, you don't see any puncture wounds, just as a casual glance over through his back. No puncture wounds, no ruffled clothes that are overly saturated in blood, nothing of that nature. Hilly, as you're looking him over, you see his garb is nice. He's got wraps around his hands. You can see rings on his fingers. Nothing really stands out as odd to you. And then Dahlia, as you are looking around, you see some spare clothes, some books. It looks like they've been here a while. But the most interesting thing you notice is a small jewelry box sitting on top of the wardrobe out of the way.
Ooh. Is it locked?
You gonna grab it and find out?
Uh, hmm. Dahlia will be looking at Tilly, and she'd ask, what's the over and under on this little thing secretly being a bomb or something?
Over and under on it being a bomb. Personally, I would do an assumption that it's probably not that high. I don't hear any sounds of it, like it has a bomb in there. However, I guess it's always a risk. We could maybe just try and take a look at it, see if you notice anything strange about it. But it would be somewhat interesting if they first killed this person and then left a bomb in the room. Seems like something they would detonate beforehand if they wanted to destroy the body fully.
Hmm. Huh. Well, when you put it like that, I'm gonna try to like look around like the box to see if there's anything odd about it, like a trick switch or anything like that.
Roll me a perception check.
Perception. Holy shit.
Alright, I see what kind of day it's gonna
We are
be.
rolling like trash tonight. Oh
Hey,
my god.
hey.
But Dahlia, is are you picking it up to look it over, or are you just looking at it while it's at the top of the wardrobe?
Uh, I should be looking around like the sides of it first, and then I assume she could tell, but if it's like bolted to the fucking desk or something, I imagine not.
It's on
But
top of a wardrobe, so you can't really
oh, it's on top of it.
see it very well.
Okay. Um,
but it's unlikely it is bolted to the top of a wardrobe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm saying fuck it. I'm picking it up.
Alrighty. As you do, you hear the clink of metal inside as the box shifts in your hands. But as you're looking over, it seems to be a relatively simple box. A little bit of not embezzling, um, engraving worked on it to make it look pretty. Um, you can see a lock worked into the front of it, and as you turn around, nothing stands out to you as dead switches or anything. It
I'm
looks too
gonna
small to have anything really on there.
let me try something. Hold on, because I do have an item.
An item. Items are good.
Yeah, I have a mystery key. I know it's a 5% chance of unlocking a thing.
And this is what you're going to use your mystery key on?
I mean, it's a 5% chance, and yeah, it disappears when it's used, right?
I'm going to look that up. Let me see. I think that's right. Let me double check. 5%
Hmm.
chance. Once it unlocks something, it disappears. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Uh, well, Dahlia will be looking at Tilly and Rasmir and would say, are either one of you really handy with the lockpick?
Um, well, I am able to use them. I don't know what level of proficiency. I'm great at them, but yes, I have some thieves' tools.
She will she will lift the box towards you and say, "Open sesame."
Open says me.
What are thieves' tools off of again? Is it? I
It's
can't
usually
remember.
dexterity.
None of my proficiencies popped up. Careful for me. Um, sure, Tilly will try and see if she can get into them or not.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity thieves tool check. Takes you a little bit. It's not the best lock in the world, but it's a decent make, and it takes you about a minute to get through it. But after working on it and playing with it, you do find the right way to move the tumblers inside, and you hear a soft click from inside the box.
Tilly will just hand the box back to Dahlia and say, "Here you go, unlocked."
Okay, let's see what dirty little secrets you have. I should will open it.
As you open it, it is laid with a faded red kind of silk lining, and inside there's a number of different types of jewelry. For the most part, it is rings, um, all made of either silver or gold, some laid with gems. Can I get a perception check from Dahlia?
Hey,
Dahlia,
no,
as you're
that's
looking
math.
through this, all of the rings have a little bit of wear and tear. They don't look. They look expensive, but you can see by looking closer at them, they don't look super well made. At least these ones don't. They look more on the cheaper end. But at the bottom, hidden under some of the other stuff, there is a very well made silver necklace with an emerald sitting at its center.
Hmm. So the rings look like they have some wear and tear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then does the emerald necklace have any of the same wear and tear?
It looks much better made. You wouldn't be able to see it. It is a exquisite piece and absolutely beautiful.
I'm gonna inspect one of the rings, like the inside, to see if I can find like initials or anything.
No, you don't see any on those.
Okay, on any of the rings.
Mm-mm.
Hmm. And then they have what did you say? Like, do they have like insignias or just like
Gems from time to time.
gems? Okay, okay.
Some
But
have
they all look
opals, some have not like proper opals, but something that looks like it. But they look like a number of different fancy rings.
okay, okay. But they look like they're from the same manufacturer?
No,
Hmm.
so but it's a couple different styles.
Right. Uh, did we ever catch the name uh of our dead friend here?
No, no one ever asked.
Hmm. We don't have. Well, I guess we technically don't have photo IDs.
No, no, you don't.
Hmm. Okay. Well, Black Dahlia will be like opening the box and showing Raz and Tilly and say that either our friend here, for some reason, would enjoy wearing a bunch of rings on his toes as well as his hands, or he just has a bunch of these used rings in this locked box for one reason or another. Probably theft?
Um, do you show us the necklace as well, or no?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll go ahead and like lift that one up.
Um, one thing that's I guess I should ask about the table. Would we also like know that the rings are not as expensive and nice as the necklace?
Not as Dolly hadn't said anything. When they show you the necklace, there's definitely a difference in make. Anybody can see it. But as for the other ones, they just look like normal rings. You'd really have to look at them to tell anything else about them, unless Dahlia says anything.
Oh well, I think I mentioned that. Yeah, they have wear and tear on it.
Oh, okay. Then Tilly just say, it seems weird that that is a lot of rings. You're right. And maybe thievery. Yes. I don't know, but it does seem weird that they have rings that are not very nice and then one very nice necklace.
I
Right?
should also point out, Tilly, the guy on the ground is wearing 2 rings on one hand. They look about of the same kind as the one in the box, definitely sizing wise. But
Okay.
it looks like he's a guy that wears a bunch of rings.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Well, I mean, he does seem the type to wear a bunch of rings, but I mean, the one thing, and maybe I'm wrong, that seems interesting to me is all the rings you said are about the same, maybe kind of quality or pricing, and then there's just one really nice necklace in there. That is something that seems of note. I don't know what that would mean if you're right
Hmm.
and it was thievery and maybe they stole from the wrong person or what happened, but it is somewhat interesting to me that there's just such a nice necklace with the rings of all kind of the same quality. Is one
Hmm.
thing that I might think would be something. Um,
Uh,
Tilly,
and
you're an artificer. Can I get? Are you a jeweler by any chance, or a metal worker?
I
What's
don't
your
know.
other toolkit?
My proficiencies currently are I have 4 proficiencies, I guess, right now, but it's only in thieves, tinkerers, disguise, and smiths. What I
Tinkerers would
have the
work. Roll me
proficiencies in.
a intelligence tinkerers or smith. Smith would also work.
We'll see what tinkerers does, just because the one I have.
Tilly, as you're looking over, while the rings are cheaper, you're looking for most of them are in a range of probably about 10 to 30 gold for each ring, but that necklace is probably like 200 gold.
Okay. Yeah, she would definitely share that with everyone. She'd just say it does seem weird. Those rings, what are we looking at? Maybe 30 gold max a ring, and that the necklace has got to be at least 200 gold. Like that's a sizable difference.
Also,
Rings maybe
remember,
over time collected them. Mhm.
ring gold is expensive for the average folk. Adventurers tend to have a lot of gold because they risk their lives every day, but
Yeah.
30 gold would be a significant amount for a normal person.
Yeah. No, yeah. So she'd say, yeah, that is with that many rings and even with wear and tear, I mean, that's a lot of money in that jewelry box that you have there. Especially that necklace. It's just such a jump from the rings. And
Hmm.
I guess I guess I'm going to try and turn the body over to see if we can learn more about it. But so far, it doesn't necessarily seem like this is someone who has large funds on them staying in a place like this. And what we've seen so far it doesn't seem like they would have ample amounts of money, except for what's in that jewelry box, of course. Um, and I think, yeah, Tilly would go to turn the body over and do the same type of check before. She'd see if there's anything about them that kind of stands out, clothing or anything on them, so on that might lead more to any information.
Alrighty, roll me an investigate.
See how bad I roll this time. Much better.
As you're looking over him, his entire front is soaked in blood, especially in the torso section and the right arm. As you roll him over, it looks like there's a very obvious wound in his stomach just below the rib cage. Probably the source of all the blood. Which is the thing that stands out to you the most?
But I guess like what he's wearing and stuff, he doesn't give off the look or appearance of anyone who has the type of money to have all of
Actually,
this, right?
his
Like that necklace
clothes
and
are definitely noble. Kind of traveling
okay.
merchant. It's sturdy make, but on the finer side. They're very dirtied by the blood, but definitely fine clothes. Not as fine as the noble downstairs, but definitely far better than the average commoner.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, Sally would share that, of course, what she's kind of found with everyone, and also ask, do we want to lift up their top, their shirt, and see if we can and see what's underneath? That looks like we could tell where their room comes from. I don't know if anyone would be able to discern more if they saw it.
uh, I mean, we could also just check their pockets. I think that's one place we haven't looked yet.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and pat the guy down.
Gotcha. Roll me a perception check. You find a pouch full of maybe 15 gold, 20 silver, and about 60 copper. So decent sized
Ew.
money pouch. You find just some general odds and ends in his other pouches, including one of them being a small key.
Ew. She's gonna jiggle the bag. But also, you said that there was also a small key.
Yep.
Hmm. Uh, just for the sake of experimentation, she's gonna see if it fits in the box, in the jewelry box.
It's exact.
Okay. Oh, there's that.
Good to know.
Hmm.
Um, I think Tilly's gonna bite the bullet and try and kind of lift up to see if they can get an idea more from the wound that this person that he took to the abdomen under the rib cage.
As you shift up the shirt, it is crunchy with dried blood, but it does move up, and you see right where that hole in the shirt was, there is a slit in his stomach, just below the right side of his rib cage.
Don't want to say this, but am I able to try and see if anything's missing from inside of him or if anything has been placed inside of him?
Roll me medicine. And are you trying to do this just from
Not-
looking, or are you trying to dig in there to see?
Oh no, she's gonna try and just open up that wound and look around because she's gone this far. So we're
Gotcha.
going
Roll me
in
that
for a
medicine.
penny, in for a pound. Medicine's not my strong suit, so yep, makes sense.
You put your finger in there, and it goes decently deep, but you don't feel anything in there. But as you're looking over that, trying to figure out, is this anything suspicious? We're gonna go ahead and jump down to the other half of the party just so we make sure we see what they're up to while y'all are looking through, as Tilly is probing a wound. Just like,
Awesome.
I see this is an entry mark. But let us go back down to the others and see how they are doing. So the three of you have long since gone upstairs. But while y'all are heading upstairs, Vera and Faladar, what are y'all up to?
Paladar has started talking with the barmaid, and asking basically general questions of, "Have you seen anything odd lately prior to the incident?"
Let me find my notes. Nothing that really stands out, no. It's just been business as usual for the most part.
Okay. Have any of the patrons seemed off lately, or anyone new you've noticed?
We get a lot of new faces coming in. Most everyone here today is a regular, though. And everybody's been kind of nervous for a little while. Well, at least for today, but that's what happens when you wake up to somebody having been murdered. You see, she is cleaning a glass, her hands moving diligently over the mug.
Your first time ever seeing someone die?
Well,
Or
since it's in my inn, it's a little different. You see people get stabbed all the time out in the city, but it's a little closer to home here. You see she shivers and keeps cleaning the mug.
can I do an insight check on
Okay.
her?
Mm-hmm. Vera, you see the shiver is a little more delayed than you think it should naturally be. Almost as if there is the triggering thought. Pause. I should probably make it look like I'm bothered by this, then a shiver.
Hmm. Used to see a lot of death on the battlefield myself. A lot of people get hurt. Sometimes they don't even mean to do it. Sometimes they hit your own forces. Sometimes people just have accidents. It happens, even if you don't mean it to.
Are you trying to imply something, Adventure?
No. It's just something that happens. Share an experience. Why would you think I'm implying anything?
You're the one that said something about making accidents. This isn't a battlefield. It might be the City of Blood, but most people don't have accidents that get themselves killed. At least not up in their rooms, anyway.
Hmm.
If it'd been out in the alley, well, maybe something like that. But no, not in here.
Yeah, it's something that, well, she sort of looks to Faladar to the side and sort of like turns away from the barmaid and sort of leans up against the bar, like facing away from the barmaid, and just sort of gives Faladar a bit of side eye and goes back to drinking, taking a big swig.
Fair. As that happens, you see the door behind her open up again, and the younger woman comes rolling a barrel back in. The two women take it, pull empty one down from the shelf, and then put the new one in its place before she asks the other woman to put that barrel out with the others and see if they can get the soup ready. She nods and immediately scurries back out the room.
Hmm. So the meat is pretty good. Do you guys have anything like stronger? Sort of like still not even looking at her, but sort of like twirling the mug of meat around and sort of gives like a slight nod back.
We have a number of different ales and teas if you're interested. A small selection of wines, some whiskey, vodka, tequila.
Hmm. Anything that really knock your socks off?
Not particularly. We're not one of the places where people go to get hammered.
Hmm.
If you're
Damn.
looking to get really sloshed, I can suggest an inn a few down that sells a, what did they call it? A gut buster, I believe they called it. Made for dwarven berserkers.
Now that sounds like a fun time. But alas, can't drink too heavy on the job, I guess. Anyway, if I'll gonna go and see if I can't get anything out of the other people. Walk away
As
from the
Vere
bar.
heads off, what is Faladar doing?
Faladar kept observing them and looking around at the different patrons of the bar currently.
Alrighty, anybody in particular?
You'd probably keep an eye on mainly like these two over here.
Define over here.
Probably her mostly,
That
since she's closest.
is the bard who is sitting on the edge of the stage, just quietly strumming her lute. You can hear her softly humming. Her voice carries, even though she's not really projecting, her voice carries through the undertone of everything else, mixing with the sounds of the city all around and just lightening the atmosphere just a little bit.
Huh. Good playing. Then I'll probably look at the woman to the south, the one that looks like she's in like black clothing.
Green. She doesn't seem to be paying you any mind, as she has a small notebook in front of her in which she has a quill out and seems to be writing.
Saladar walked over.
Gotcha. Where are you going, Vera, as Faladar, I think, is heading to the noble?
Well, she's gonna sort of make her way around to the chairs and she's gonna look at the other three patrons as she sort of takes the long way around towards the bard in the top corner.
Gotcha. You see, while they're mostly seem to be dealing with drinks of their own, you can tell everybody's attention's on the two of y'all as y'all are moving about, but nobody's outwardly watching.
Okay. All right. I kind of want to do like the slow sort of, dare I say, almost predatory walk around, trying to use her heavily armored presence to try and see if that instills any kind of reaction out of them as she moves about.
There's definitely all eyes on you, but nobody's jumping up or flinching or anything.
Hmm.
Well, not all eyes, but everybody's attention is watching,
Hmm.
even if they're listening instead of fully watching. You can see as you're right behind somebody, they don't look, but as soon as you pass by at the corner of your eye, you can see tilts of the head, making sure you're still in the peripheral as you are being tracked as you move through the room, which is pretty normal for people like this, especially in a high stress situation. They're being held here um, under investigation for murder, so everybody's a little stressed.
All right. As I approach the bard, do I get a similar vibe from them as the
They
others?
don't seem to be focused on you like the three in the middle. She's just strumming her lute.
Okay, I will move up there, and it's still there, and I guess we can take a pause so that Faladar can have his interaction.
Gotcha. Faladar, as you walk up, how do you approach this noblewoman?
I approach very calmly. I have my loot and my cards and stuff all in my bag already, so I don't have anything outward to show. I simply just walk over, pull up a seat, and sit across from them.
They don't say anything. They just continue working.
Right?
They
After a
don't
second, I
look
said,
up to you to acknowledge that you've sat down. It's you might as well be a chair, as far as they're concerned, it seems.
okay. All right, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about something right now. All right. Faladar just kind of says, "Greetings, ma'am. I have some questions about what has occurred here today. If you assist me in answering them, we may be able to get you out of here fast."
You see, she remains silent for a few moments, continuing to write before finishing at the end of the page, setting her quill down in its ink pot and closing the book before looking up at you, templing her fingers and watching. You have the distinct feeling, well, you should be the one with the that should be asking the questions. You almost feel like the power dynamics in the other direction. More like she's allowing you to ask questions than you having the right to do so.
Uh, it's like, oh, oh, great. This feels just like home. All right, ma'am. What is your what was your purpose for coming to this place?
They were of my own. I had a meeting with a client that I needed to deal with.
Mm-hmm. All right. I kind of just like slowly write stuff down. Right. Were you down here when the event occurred, or were you in one? Were you in one of the upstairs rooms?
We are uncertain of that, as no one knows when things happened. I spent the night in my room, but other than that, I do not know.
All right. All right. I kind of write down this information. Seem to pause and ready to ask a third question, but can I do like an insight check?
Sure.
It's more just to see whether asking further questions would be fruitless.
Alrighty. Faldar, you're in the situation where you get the distinct feeling this woman knows more about talking people in circles than you do. So you could keep asking questions, but whether or not you'd get much of anything, if she knew anything, you're not sure. Um, it definitely feels like the walls are up, and you don't know how much you'd reasonably be able to get through. Because she seems very standoffish. She seems open openly just willing to talk with you, but as for actually divulging anything, you have no idea.
Alrighty, I kind of closed up like the notes I was taking and say, all right, well, I think I've gotten everything that you. I think I've gotten everything that you were going to give me. Apologies if I was interrupting whatever it is you were doing. I was mainly trying to see if I can get everyone out of here as fast as possible.
She doesn't say anything, continuing on, instead reopening her book and returning to writing.
Hmm. I go to leave, but as I leave, she does get like a telepathic message in her head that doesn't sound like my voice. It sounds more like it sounds almost scraggly and like so, it sounds like a woman trying to speak with like a crushed throat. It comes on the lines of be careful. Be careful who you anger or who you speak to with that tone. It may not end well for you.
Faladar, You try to push that in, and you hit a solid steel wall. You know very well you did not make the connection.
Dark kind of smirks at that and says, he just kind of smirks at that and then leaves this table. I got more information from that than the questions.
All right. All right. Say, as I approach the bard lady, strumming her lute, sort of gonna the stage. So, you play in this place often?
From time to time.
Mm,
It pays the bills.
mm. The guy who croaked, is he also a regular here?
You mean Farron? Yes, from time to time he's here as well.
Hmm. Sorry, he said Farron. Sorry, I'm trying to write that down.
Farryn.
Farryn. Okay. Did he tip well whenever you played, or was he kind of a stingy bastard?
He's an ass.
Mm. Eh, I'm not the kind. Not the kind that people would generally be too upset if he went down. I know a few people like that back in my old unit.
So,
Assholes.
there will be people upset, and there will be people that aren't. Farron had a lot of people that didn't like him, but what can you do when you're a colossal ass?
What'd he
He
do
put
that
the
was so...
shame to all the donkeys.
Mm,
He's encroaching on their naming.
mm. What did he really do a lot that made him such an ass?
Rude, thought he was better than everyone, was rather sleazy.
Too handsy?
Not normally.
Hmm. What did he do?
I believe he's a merchant.
Ah, did he have a guild? Or was he just solo?
I don't know.
Hmm. Interesting. So, do you have a significant other?
Are you asking if she does or if he did?
No, if he did.
Because I was about to say, are you hitting on this woman?
No, but she is asking, did he have a significant other? Anybody that could even stand him?
You see, she thinks for a few moments. Not a significant other, as far as I'm aware. And if he did, I pity the poor woman's soul. But if you have tastes that foul, well, I suppose you get what you get.
Hmm. What kind of tastes did he have?
I was more referring to her as if she's interested in him.
Well, yeah, but also I meant like him. You notice anything about what he drank? I sort of take another piece and sort of slide it over towards her and sort of eye the loot and give her a bit of a...
She takes it. Well, you'd probably be better off asking Bruno, but I believe he had a penchant for wines.
Mm,
Fancied himself a connoisseur.
connoisseur.
Uh,
Fancied himself a lot, did he?
yes, I do believe he did.
Brenna, that's the barmaid, correct?
The innkeeper.
Oh.
She
Oh,
owns this
I was asking that.
establishment.
Oh, okay. So she's the bar. Okay.
She's also standing behind you.
Hmm.
She nods to the
Never.
bar.
Never did get her name. Interesting. Well, thanks for your time, and do a lot of good trying to at least lift up the mood somewhat.
There's enough darkness rotting around in here at the moment. Don't want to add to it.
Hmm. Sort of gives a nod, walks back, and sort of leans on the bar a bit, gives Faldar a bit of a clap on the shoulder, nods at him, looks to the to Brenna. You know what the guy drank last before he, you know, dropped?
I couldn't tell you.
He didn't order?
He usually has some kind of wine. But as for which one he was drinking, I couldn't say. He generally has a few bottles stashed away.
Can I insight check her on that to see on the if he didn't order anything?
Okay.
Oh,
She seems pretty straightforward. Yet again, she has that same mug still in her hands, which she is over cleaning at this point.
hmm. Where does that door over there lead? She points to the door into the far right.
Leads into the hallway.
Do you mind if I go and have a look?
As you wish.
Okay. She's gonna sort of give a nonverbal communication to Faldar that she's gonna be going towards the door on the other side.
I nod, but then you hear a telepathic message in your head. And you hear a telepathic message that said, "All right, if anything happens, just holler for me."
She sort of nods back. I'd like to approach the door. Do I notice anything off about the door itself?
Nope at the door.
Okay, I'd like to open up the door.
It might have a cannon behind it, though.
Can never be too careful. All right, I will open the door.
Okay. You can go ahead and open the door. There you go.
Oh, okay. I was saying I didn't know if I didn't know it because in one of my other campaigns we're not allowed to open the doors. We have to ask the DM to open the door for us. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
The
When you're
hallway.
actively going to do it, I'll usually tell you if it's locked or something, or I'll say hang on. If I don't say anything, it just means open the door.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go to the north, and I'm going to try and see where the lady took that barrel of whatever it was.
Give me a perception check. Because you see there are a number of different doors back here.
Ugh.
You can just hear the loot.
Hopefully she plays a bit louder. I will go up.
Considering it's the woman from the inn, or the room which you were just in. You don't know if that'd be helpful or not.
Okay. Going to keep an eye out, and I'm going to take a look at this door. Are there any signs above the doors?
No.
Okay. Then I will open up this door directly to the back.
You see, this is very obviously the kitchen, and you can see the woman from earlier is currently chopping vegetables off to the side. You can see a large pot hanging in front of the fire.
I'm going to step in and sort of knock on the door after I've opened it a bit to sort of get the lady's attention so that way I don't completely spook her.
You see she immediately jumps. Oh! Ow! As she immediately drops the knife, you see a flash of red, and she puts the side of her finger in her mouth immediately.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to startle you. I was just having a look around and noticed that you were fishing back and forth between here. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Um, I guess. Give me just a moment, though. As she comes over here and starts rifling through one of the drawers. It takes her a couple seconds, but she does seem to find what she's looking for. As she pulls out some gauze and she cleans off her hand using some of the water nearby, and then wraps the cut on her finger.
Going to close the door gently and be like, I'm sorry for startling you, but there's some important questions need to ask about the guy who was killed here.
As you step forward, she immediately moves back to the other side, back to her station where she was before.
Are you okay?
Perfectly fine.
Are you in any kind of trouble?
No. Just working. Yeah, she immediately picks the knife back up and begins dicing the vegetables she was working on. Oh, I should probably clean this up first. As she shakes her head, scooping the bits of vegetables she just did and tossing them into the fire before going to move back towards where she just was, seeing you standing there and then kind of stopping dead. She takes a hesitant step forward and goes through this table right here, finding some cleaning supplies and cleaning up the blood on the table.
It's okay. You don't have to be so nervous around me, alright? I'm not gonna hurt you. Just the guy who lived here. Do you know what he drank the night?
I apologize. Could you repeat that last bit?
He's
Oh, I was asking.
asking what Baron drunk the night he died. No. Probably some kind of wine.
I noticed that you were moving barrels back and forth.
Just one. You can actually see that same barrel near the door.
Mm. Is Brenna a good boss to you?
Of course she is. Why wouldn't she be?
Could I do an insight check on that?
Yeah. You can see there's concern in her eyes as to why you're asking it, but she seems genuine in her response.
everyone.
She doesn't seem
very...
all that good at hiding emotions on her face. And she looks frazzled.
Trying to remember. Say Farron. Okay. I heard that the guy Farron wasn't exactly the most liked guy around here.
Can I get a
And he was...
perception check? You see the moment you say his name, there's a tiny flinch. You mostly see it in her hand as she immediately has to move the knife away from her fingers to catch herself, stop her from catching herself again.
Okay. And he was kind of sleazy, kind of a shitty guy all around.
As you take a step forward, you see she almost subconsciously shifts down the table a little bit more, moving to another set of vegetables.
Did he hurt anybody here at the bar?
Not that I know of, no.
Say, what's your name?
Ellis?
Ellis?
Hmm.
It's a very nice name.
Thank you.
Ellis.
You can also see she's still not looking at you.
I need you to be honest with me, okay? I'm not here to get you into trouble. All right? I just want to know the truth about what happened. And I promise you, everything that happens in here stays between you and me, okay? That's why the door's closed. Do you know anything or anyone who would hate him so much that they would want him dead?
Roll me persuasion.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. No! Oh, well.
No. Not that I know of. I really need to finish this soup. If you'll excuse me, I need to get some apples. As she sets down the knife and rushes into the door off to the left.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna head back out and I'm gonna return to Valadar.
Are you leaving the doors open behind you?
Oh, sorry. No, I will be. I'm sorry. I will be closing them. Yes, I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Faladar, what have you been doing while Vera's been gone? Just sitting and watching? Faladar?
Blue.
Blue da ba dee da boo da.
Oh no.
I almost panicked. I thought I forgot to unmute the unpause the recording earlier. Blue. Hold on. Sorry about that. We are going to shift gears back upstairs as we return to Tilly, Dahlia, and Razmir, as Tilly has just finished probing a wound with their finger. Tilly,
Tilly
as
would
best
just
you were
say,
able to say, he lost blood from here.
yeah. Tilly's just gonna kind of huff and go, well, medical training was never really my thing. This is evidently, as we can see, where he died from this wound. I was trying to see if anything had been added inside or was missing, and I have no idea. So apologies, and she's gonna stand up and grab like a rag to wipe her hands off with. That was gross.
I will say that they're. Well, I suppose they did get the job done, but the artistry is a bit lost. But that's neither here nor there. Um. So, perhaps we should review what we've learned so far. With each
Um,
this individual. Yeah. Did you want to say so?
this one, Raspberry, did you want to try and look over the body at all? I
All
don't
right.
know if
Yeah.
you have medical training or is there anything you want to look at? I'm not sure.
No, not really. I think you've summed it up, sticking your finger in the wound.
Well,
Okay.
seemed like a good idea at the time.
Mm.
Sorry, Black Guy, please go ahead.
Yeah. So just a review. So this guy basically may be a merchant of some sort. Uh, he wore a lot of rings for his apparel. Uh, and apparently he managed to find a something at least new to his collection, which would be this necklace. And he was stabbed in the chest as the main method for killing.
Um, yeah, from what I've gathered, I think the things we might want to maybe review with the others or see if we can help ask some patron questions on would be the drink that none of us seem to know what it is. Maybe someone downstairs is a bit of a wine person. That I'm
Okay.
assuming that's what this is.
Okay.
And then from what I can tell about the clothes, yes, merchant, probably not fully noble, but well enough to do to be able to afford some of the wares. The necklace is still something that stands out. I do think the rings are all his. Um, However, the necklace is a bit different. And I think we didn't see, no one, you didn't find anything else, the notes or papers or anything around when you were looking?
Hmm, I don't believe so.
And I guess above table, we kind of, with what Dahlia did searching wise and stuff, we've kind of searched the room, right? From what I remember, I got a little caught up in I was really rooting for Vera to get that persuasion roll and learn more. But so I
Dahlia
got a little
had
distracted.
walked into a room and gone, I'm in a room, and looked around and went, ooh, there's a thing on the wardrobe. That's the extent of searching y'all have done.
Okay.
Y'all haven't
Oh,
actually
then
searched
Tilly would want
anything.
to.
Save for
Okay, well,
him. You'll
Tilly
search him.
originally I was gonna say, and the desk was one of the things. The first thing I wanted to search before we looked at the body
Yeah,
was
you
the
did the
desk.
table, which I said desk early on. It's just the table in the center between Resmir and
Oh,
Dahlia, which just had the wine glass on it and a candle.
okay. Okay. Then yeah, Tilly would I guess just say, I think before we go, why don't we just all do we can all just do like a thorough search. Everyone just kind of try and thoroughly look around to see if there's anything else that stands out, whether it's maybe a journal or a letter or notes or maybe a murder weapon if we can see that. If there's anything,
Sounds
be it on
good
the
to me.
shelves or the bed. Yeah, and lastly, before we go, I think I'd also, once we've searched the room, I'd maybe just like to take a look at the window. I don't know if it's common that it would be open some, so maybe just kind of see if there's anything around there that we notice. If maybe someone came in or left from the window would be my thoughts. Is there
Alrighty,
anything else either of
so
you would want to look for?
let's do the overview first. I would like one person to roll with advantage as y'all are getting assistance from the other two.
I can try to roll. I would need to
Are
have
we
the. Actually, yeah. Investigation, right?
No, perception.
Perception. Okay.
Because you're looking
Finish.
around for things. Investigation's trying to piece things together. What things mean, stuff like that.
Okay. Someone else could take the turn for that then.
You need
I'm not proficient.
perception. Give me those eyeballs to find the things you're looking for.
I can just say my perception is not insane. It's only a +2, so I don't know if you want Tilly rolling perception. She's an investigation gal.
I'm a +1.
I'll roll the perception.
Thank you kindly.
I need to make a shirt that says "Give me them eyeballs." Roll perception.
There we go.
Nice.
Rasmir, as you're looking around, you're taking your time really going through things that you notice that stand out. Under the windowsill on the wall just underneath it, there's some odd scuffing. Right above where the wall meets the floor. As well underneath, kind of over where Tilly's standing, just underneath that wardrobe there is a spark of something shiny.
Okay, I will point that out to Tilly, just kind of pointing at it, letting her know that there's something shiny right there.
As well, one more thing.
Sure.
You do see the mattress sitting on the bed seems a little askew. On the frame.
So after a cursory glance, I'll look at Tilly and Dahlia. Let them know that there's some scuffing on the wall by the window, where the wall meets the floor. Something shiny on the floor near you, Tilly. And then the bed seems to be somewhat askew.
So I'd say, Presma, you have great eyes for finding things. And I guess Tilly would try and grab the shiny thing. See what it is.
As you get it on your knees to get a look under it, you see there is something small and silver sitting just next to one of the legs of the wardrobe.
Am I able to grab it?
Yep, it is easy enough to grab. It seems to be, as you pull it out, it is a silver coin. But instead of the usual markings of a silver coin, this one seems to just be emblazoned by a circle with a red triangle in the center of it.
Okay. But I guess Tilly would show it to the rest of everyone and say, does anyone know what this is? And show them the coin.
Somebody could attempt a history check.
Definitely not
My
me.
history's okay. I'm not proficient in it, but I'm all right with it. You do your best.
Tilly, you've been working around in Baldur's Gate for a little bit, going here, going there, but you're a little bit familiar with the underground here in Baldur's Gate, and specifically with a criminal organization known as the Guild. It is a highly organized criminal organization that seems to have its hands in everything.
So share that with everyone in case they don't know of the guild, and kind of make a note to make sure she shares that with the others downstairs. And I don't know how big or heavy the mattress is, but maybe since she and Black Dahlia are closest, say, would you want to help me move this mattress to see if we can figure out what Rasmir saw with why it's sitting a little funny? Maybe we can pull the covers back first and then try and shift it, like lift it up or see what we can see.
Oh yeah.
Worst case, Tilly can do it herself too. You know, if she needs to just kind of pull back the covers first and then try and lift the mattress if she's able to.
Yeah, it takes a
Kind of
little
look around it.
manhandling, but you are going to manage to move it around a little bit. And most interesting, hidden underneath the mattress, under the mattress itself is a small, slim, leather-bound book.
Then I think, are there any markings on front of it or anything like that? Or is it just kind of a simple no nothing on the cover?
It's just it's got a band around it that keeps it shut closed, but no exterior markings.
Tilly would just kind of maybe briefly open it for like a cursory glance to see if it's a journal or maybe a spell book or something like that. So she has an idea of what it is and be prepared to bring it down to everyone else to gather the information with them.
It seems to be just some kind of journal.
Okay. And I think with the items minus the wine, the items that Tilly has on her, at least the book and the coin and stuff like that, would kind of add that into like her little carry bag and put her notes back in there, and definitely make sure to grab the wine glass since Dahlia has the jewelry box, and just double check with everyone. I think we have everything. Do we want to go ahead and meet with the others to go over maybe what we found or what they found, see if we have a moment to talk amongst ourselves? They might be a little more versed with wine or maybe some of the things that we're not completely sure of, and we can pass on what we've learned about the body and the person up here.
Did you want to do the closer inspections? Because all y'all did was the larger one throughout the entire room. Because I remember you said you wanted to look over the window.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah. Go ahead.
Alrighty, so whoever's looking over the window, can I get another perception check?
Kelly would probably ask Rasmir to give the window the best look over and just say, "Do you want to give the window a glance over? I can try and help you out if you need, but you might be better suited than I am."
Yeah, so I'll move over there and investigate the window.
As you are looking over, you see there's not too much going on. It looks like the um, lock got not the lock got broken at some point. Looks like it's been a lot of wear and tear since the breaks are probably not the best way to keep safe, but what you do notice is that there is a small bit of blood on the underside of the window where it would usually press tight with the bottom of the windowsill. And as you notice that, you see down in the very corner, like stuck right at the side of the windowsill, there is a little bit of fabric seeming to be caught there.
So looking at this fabric, does it look similar to what this poor sap is wearing?
No.
Okay.
It seems to be made of a very dark color. Um, Almost a very, very dark forest green that edges on black. He seems to like blues.
So I will grab that piece of fabric, show it to Tilly. Maybe we can add this to our pile of maybe evidence.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. The more we have, probably the more we can help figure out what happened with everyone. And if you want, Tilly could add it to her little bag that she has where she's putting stuff, or you're more than welcome to carry it too.
Yeah, I think we just keep it all together.
Then that is the room, the wardrobe area. I guess would it behoove? Have we opened the wardrobe and looked inside yet?
No.
Tilly would just want to maybe just open the wardrobe just to look inside and see if there's anything in there
It seems to
besides clothes and
mostly
stuff.
be clothes, traveling gear, and things of that nature.
Okay. Then yeah, just maybe look around and say, is there anything else in the room we think we might have missed? It's the bed, the wardrobe, the window, the desk, the cupboards. Anything else that is around that we should look for? Um,
I mean, not that I can
I guess
think
if
of.
there's
Maybe our other party members downstairs can, more eyes is better than no eyes.
and I suppose we should head back down to the others and let them know what we found. So
Yeah, and
see where we go
who
from
knows,
here.
they may have gotten something as well that we could compare notes with. Yeah.
Yeah, the hope. So we'll bring them what we found and kind of go over everything with them and see what maybe they've learned. And if they choose to come up and look around as well, won't stop them. So
All right, so y'all heading down?
yeah,
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, we'll shut the door
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
behind us. Head down.
Oh, I'm trapped on the wrong map. Let's get you three coming
Billy
back
wants to let the
downstairs. Excuse me.
Billy wants to let the others know her very not great luck of figuring out anything in the body. Maybe they're more interested. Who knows?
But you can see as y'all are coming down, Vera's just coming into the room from on the right.
Um, Billy, not many.
Hmm.
Uh,
There you are, Vera. So we found something that's quite interesting.
Before you put
I
your foot
d-
in your mouth like you usually do, I'll remind you
What
you
happened?
are in a tavern where
I say,
everyone can hear you.
Billy is
I,
just glaring at you right now, shaking her head no.
I say,
Mean mugging you.
I'll
No.
have
No.
Vera nod towards the door and sort of open it up towards the hallway. Here, got a place where we can talk.
Oh, I mean, I could also just like do this, and she'd be telepathically speaking to you, but that works too.
Gonna
Mm.
sort of nod to the rest of the group if they wish to
Yeah,
follow.
Tilly came to, yeah, Tilly came to grab Salthier, and she was originally going to ask the owner of the establishment if there was a place
Oh.
that they could speak privately. But I mean, we could go to the hall. I don't know if you already have one. I was upstairs, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faladar,
If
are
you
you
already
back
have a
with
place,
us?
then I will skip asking.
Guess not. So Faladar is having a chat with the owner, so you go off that way.
Okay.
No
I'm going to
problem.
lead them through the hallways towards the kitchen area, since it seemed large enough to hold all of us. It's not quite as narrow as the rest of the areas. Just gonna sort of take a quick peek in, make sure that she hasn't come back yet.
You've been gone like 30 seconds, so no.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Time is different. Time is relative.
Yeah, you literally just walked away. You were coming back in when they came downstairs.
All right.
And
Wait and see.
whenever Dahlia gets with us, Tilly would shut the door
Yeah.
behind.
Oh gosh, I already got lost.
To the left.
Over this way.
Yeah. Thank you. Ah. Ooh. Quite homely.
Very nice.
Y'all can
I
see
think
there is the beginnings of a soup on the fire. The broth happily cooking away in the fireplace while most of the rest of it still seems to have been being prepared.
So,
Mhm.
it seems that our not a lot of people are too choked up about the death of Mr. It, uh, Farron. No real love lost in the guy. He was apparently kind of a sleazeball and a bit of a scumbag.
Oh, that's
And
mm,
the I don't know if they call them barmaids, but she is incredibly nervous and, quite frankly, kind of terrified as she points to the area. Is there any blood left on the
No, she
table?
cleaned it up.
Okay, let's see. She cut herself just at the at the mention of the guy's name, like some kind of,
She
I
cut
don't know.
herself when you walked in the room.
Sorry. Is almost cut herself when I mentioned the name.
Mm-hmm.
She stopped herself. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, and she seems like, I don't know. I don't think he was dangerous because the others don't seem to think that much of him. But
um, I almost wonder if maybe he wasn't dangerous, but maybe he possibly either been involved or upset some dangerous people. We found a few things upstairs, but I don't know how familiar you are with any of the criminal underground in Baldur's Gate. We did find this though, and I think Tilly would just start with the coin and hand that over. And uh, do you know much about the guild at all, or?
um, this would this be like a history check as well?
Yep.
Prepare to suck.
You've
Wasn't
heard
that
of
bad.
him.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Hmm. Hmm. I've heard of him, and the guy was wealthy. It seemed to some degree.
Not
Fancied him.
absorbently so, but definitely of better stock than the commoner.
Say he fancied himself a bit of a wine connoisseur of sorts.
There, do you know much about drinks? I saw you order earlier. I had this. We brought this as well. We none of us know much about wine, but he was drinking wine, and
It's
I don't
purple.
know. It's dark purple, and it has like glittery, sparkly swirls in it. I'm not much of a wine drinker, but I didn't know they sparkled.
Did you take the wine glass with you? I thought it was still on the table.
Oh, no, 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 Tilly. That was one thing I said earlier. Tilly was taking the wine glass with us downstairs because that's the one thing she's been really interested in.
Why is that not? What's going on here? Whoops, that's not what I want. There we go. The door had flushed off. So, continue on.
Oh, yeah. No, that
Okay.
was one thing that Tilly's kind of. So she pulled the little coin out of her bag. She kept everything in the bag, but the wine glass she just kind of carried. And I think Dahlia has the jewelry box if we're,
Yeah.
I believe. So, but that was the thing. None of us seem to know that much about wine. Maybe I don't know if you do or not.
Hmm. I'm gonna look at the wine glass and see. Let's say this isn't the cellar, but
You did
all
see
right.
the
Yeah.
stairs downstairs when they came up. It's the same set. It's right next to where y'all went up.
Okay. But yeah, I'll have a look at the wine and see if I knew any generals or anything at the time in the military. See if they liked any kind of real fancy stuff.
Roll me history.
Oh boy, I'm getting all the intelligence rolls with a -1. Ugh.
No, you've never seen this before.
Mm. Can't say that I have.
This doesn't look like the
Sparkly.
kind of stuff that's on the battlefield.
Yeah.
They prefer much harder things.
It's like most of the guys I know preferred whiskey to wine. This is not my particular area of expertise. Pour me a hard one and I'll drink it right up, but fancy shit? Nah. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I like my stuff aged in barrels, just not wine. Uh, Definitely darker liquor. Maybe Balder or the barkeep would be able to. The owner, the proprietor, might be able to help us with it. We can always come back to the wine. And then I think replaying all of it if it's okay.
Mm.
Tilly would kind of give a rundown of everything that we found upstairs to Vera, so Vera's kind of so
I was
everyone's
gonna
in the
say,
know of what all we found.
before you take the wine back, I think I'll have Vera like dip a finger into it and sort of give a light taste of it.
Okay. It is a combination of sweet and spicy. More sweet than spice.
Give a small burp, a little bit of flame pops out of her mouth. mm. Mm. Ah,
Oh,
sweet and spicy.
weird wine.
Mm. Mm. Who drinks spicy wine? Hmm. I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, please continue with your explanation of what you found.
Oh, yeah. So Tilly would go through the facts that we merchant, not noble, but well enough to do more better off than a commoner, but not quite adventurer's money. Uh, and then probably have Dahlia maybe show the jewelry box with the rings and then the one necklace and kind of explain the quality and pricing difference. Go over what Rasmer found at the window, in the windowsill, and that found the journal, and show the journal, hand the journal to Vera to maybe look over, and then add in that we did try to figure out more about the cause of death, that we found the slit below the rib cage, and that I did look to see if anything was added or taken away and had no clue. But from the kind of blood stain under the window and the torn fabric, that the assumption thus far is that someone came in through the window, the lock was broken, but we can't guarantee it was broken in this. The assumption is that someone Tilly's assumption, at least, sorry, is that someone came in the window and dispatched him and then left through the window again and perhaps got caught on something and maybe tore some clothes and cut themselves. And that's why we saw that left behind.
Does the guild
If
do
I missed anything.
loans?
What'd you say?
I was asking, does the guild do loans? Does
Yeah,
anybody know if
there's loan sharks within the guild. They have their hands in everything.
so I'm gonna look at the fabric and I'm gonna try and see if I can't remember if it matches the garbs because of anybody in the um in the bar.
Alrighty, roll me perception check. While the fabric doesn't seem to match anything specific, the color, that deep foresty green, is very similar to the color palette worn by both the bard and the noble. Both of them were in shades of green.
Now that is interesting. A light green. Well,
There's nothing light about it, but they're both in
oh, it's not
deep
light green.
greens.
I meant.
Oh, they
Sorry.
like green. Okay.
Yeah.
Misunderstood.
They like green, do they? Well, it seems that our resident bard and lady at the table have a similar taste and fashion to our killer.
Have you learned, besides the lady in here that you spoke with who was pretty scared of the name, have you or Felder learned much from anyone down here besides that this guy was evidently a bit of a scumbag, it sounds like? Was there any other information about him at all?
Well, besides the fact that he liked his wine, well, there was one thing. The bard seemed particularly unbothered by all this. Doing their loot, saying that they come here sometimes to put on performances. Don't bards sometimes double as spies?
I mean, I don't know if it's as much just that bards particularly double as spies, but bards can be many things than just musicians, if that makes sense. They have plenty of skills they can incorporate into their lives.
They also get a history at advantage from Vera.
Oh, history at advantage. Okay.
Yep. Another thing about bards is they tend to play in taverns. If they play in the seedier ones, they see some shit go down. If she's been at some of the seedier bars, there's chances she's just seen people killed in the bars. Big brawls happen, all kinds of shit. It just depends on which one. People tend not to fuck with the bards because they like the music. But they see a lot of shit.
Alright, I've got an idea. Can you hand me the cloth real quick?
Okay. Yeah, of course. I would ask if you're okay before we go, maybe just any further with the customers out there, while we have just a few moments to ourselves, would we all just be able to look over this book to see if it's a journal? Maybe he left something in it that might give us some more information about things. We haven't really looked into it too much.
Oh, damn, you got a journal. Alright, open it up. Open it up. Let's see.
Yeah, that's the leather-bound book that Tilly pulled up. But definitely, if we're able to maybe just take a little bit and kind of try and see if we can look through it and find anything in the journal that might give us more information on this guy, or if he had shady dealings, or a good recipe
Everything
for chicken or something.
in this book is about the different flavors of wine that this man has tried.
It's all this is a wine journal. There's nothing that stands out about it.
Nope. It's just wine. At least that's
Well,
what's written in it. And we've got a
and no missing
long
pages or anything.
list. Nope. It's about halfway filled.
Okay. Well, he evidently really cared about wine and a lot. That's it.
Damn, he really
Oh,
was full of
here.
himself, wasn't he?
Can I get an investigation
Yeah,
check
here.
from Tilly?
Depends on how the dice feel. Yes,
Tilly,
yes,
as
you
you're
can.
flipping through it, thinking of it, it's just like, this is just a wine journal. Nothing interesting. Doesn't really have dates. It has some places where specific wines are from. But you're looking over and just like, this is nothing. Why was it hidden under a mattress?
Yeah. I will be honest, above table, that's what has me confused so much. I thought there would be more in there than just a wine list. Um,
And it's pages upon pages of very detailed notes on the wine. About its flavor, how it
wine.
ages, it's how it was made, all kinds of things.
I was going to share that with the group and just be like, is this not weird to anyone that this wine list was hidden under the bed away from everyone? And it is just such a detailed list about wine. I understand people care for their drink, but what a strange thing to hide. I can't, is there anything in here that stands out to anyone that maybe this is more than just descriptions of wine? I don't know if there's code in it or is it a ledger? Like, does anyone see anything strange about it? It just seems so weird to me that this is there and it's just wine.
Is it all in common?
All in common.
And there's nothing that nothing looks strange about it. Like, it doesn't seem like, I think I gotta phrase it like I said, like, it doesn't seem, so no code, we're assuming, because it's in common. There's no like strange written letters randomly, or it doesn't look like a ledger of some sort that's like mixed into it.
It just
Oh,
seems to
that
be really detailed notes. If it was anything else, it would take more looking at it than just cursory glances.
that was such a great investigation check, you know.
Yep.
And I guess I would want to look at it more again, just for the again, I guess, keep looking at it.
And so you're gonna see if you can figure out if like there's a um hidden messages in it or something written in code. It sounds like what you're
Yeah,
trying to
like,
do. All right, it'll take
yeah,
you a little
like if there's a
while,
code or
because looking for that kind of stuff is hard. Breaking it's even harder. But can I get another investigation check?
yeah, roll 20, so I think we all know what's going to happen now. Not bad.
As you're looking in, trying to see if you've got a hidden ledger or something, you're looking through it and you're starting to notice oddities within the language itself. As if you start looking at some of the lines, something catches your eye. On one of the the middle late pages, you see hidden in the starting letters going down the page. You look at all the capitalized letters, and you see they spell out one word so far. You'd have to look through it more, but this is the first thing that catches your eye. You see the name Brenna. And that, for tonight, is where we're going to be ending it. Thank you all very much for joining us. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. And yet again, I hope you're around for next time when this party continues their investigation to find out just what happened to this man and who done it. Y'all have a wonderful night. Peace.